Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Moderately Informed podcast with Gary, Zach, and Ant. I hope that stays in the right order. We are, yeah, all right, yeah, okay, yeah, just blow it out of the water already. That's great faith in me and my abilities here. I'm going to say it's going to be that. We are here today.
You want to know who you?
What?
You want to know who you pointed to?
Gary.
No, Gary.
Okay,
on mine, you got me right and the other two the wrong way around.
Oh well. We can only try, can't we? It's episode 1. We're gonna come up against this kind of stuff all the time. It's a learning process.
Right, start again.
I don't need to start again. I'm keeping this on. This is natural. This is 4 people who have no idea what they're doing who've decided to talk to the internet because we demand attention. Right?
Problem is, the person that's in charge of it has the least idea of all of us.
Oh well, what can you do? Well, your week will run very smoothly then. That's all I'm going to say. But having said that, I am in charge of the edit, so I can make you look terrible.
Don't point at me. I've done nothing.
Oh, no. Stop it. Anyway, before I was interrupted earlier, we are doing our theme this week. We're going to do themes every week. We're all going to, as hosts, we're going to take turns, pick themes. My one was back to school. Obviously, I've got another girl. She's just gone back to school. She's been super excited about that. I really wanted to discuss sort of our experiences of school, primary, middle, upper school, or if you're northern, just the first and second school, because they can't afford that middle one.
Or maybe they're just too clever to need it.
Well, there you go. All that. All I'm going to say is Norfolk also has a 2-tier system, and I'm just going to leave it there.
They've got 6 fingers.
We've already wiped out at least a third of people out there who would actually watch this now, so that's good.
Yeah, well done, Anne. Cheers, mate.
But we've alienated ourselves from the whole of Norfolk and all of the north. So there we go.
I mean, I could think of worse.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah. That's not too bad.
It doesn't matter because the people in the north are still going to get coal for their computer, so we're all good.
Get the hamsters in the wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Gary, when's your next order?
We're so happy to have you here, Gary, as the representative of the entire North. So we apologise just for being brutal. Oh,
his internet's still better than mine, though, and that's London internet.
Yeah, I was going to say. To be fair, the person you can see the best is Ant, which is really annoying because he looks quite pretty.
Yeah, I know.
And on camera, guys, stop flirting on camera.
Never.
No, it's been a while.
Just to let you know, I am open to sponsorships to beauty products.
It's not a platform for your own personal gain, Anthony. Pipe down. Right, so our first sort of topic I wanted to sort of discuss was how do you remember school, primary school? Like, what are your key memories? What's your feeling? Can you remember your first day at school? Can anyone remember their first day at school?
Been a while ago. Come on. I mean, not quite as long as your first day at school was.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, I think the coal's running out. What?
Yeah, you're gonna have to put some more coal on the fire. Your sound cut out there a bit, Gary. What was that?
It's been a while since my first day at school, but not as long ago as yours.
Yeah, I think the joke's...
Do you know what? I wish I hadn't asked you to repeat that.
Exactly.
Get what you give it.
But no, first day at school was a long, distant memory for myself.
I can remember it, walking with my nan to St. Mary's. She dropped me off, and that's all I remember.
Yeah.
Never seen her since.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Your nan walking you to school gate, you're just going, yeet! See you later, Ann.
Nan, why have I got my backpack and my suitcase to go to school?
That's how we do it at St. Mary's.
Yeah, I think my first day at school was...
And it's having some major technical issues there with the microphone. Big time.
It's all floppy.
Well, That's what lockdown's done to us all, really, hasn't it? It's kind of just.
I don't feel
It's
comfortable
awful.
talking about this. I do not feel comfortable talking about this when we're talking about schools.
Yeah,
valid.
okay, that's a valid point.
I think I might get fired if I start talking about
Oh my fucking god!
I've got to say, this is a great for visual, but if we end up actually putting this as a proper podcast for any audio listeners, this is not going to be great.
it. It's ASMR now. That's what it is.
Yeah, and here we have Ant fiddling with his mic.
There we go.
Right, lift it out.
I mean, it's fixed.
That'll do.
I'm sure Zach will remember his first day of school teaching.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big one. So I remember my first. Well, the thing is, right, I don't remember my first day of school, but I remember preschool, and
Yeah.
I remember I got annoyed for being dropped off, and I had an apple, and I ate part of the apple, took a bite of it, I left it on the side, and forgot about it, and then I got picked up again, and I ended up having a tantrum on the way home, so I wasn't allowed to go get my apple. And when we came back, it was all mouldy for the next day, and then I had a tantrum again because it was mouldy. It didn't survive the time. So, any reason to have a tantrum? Really?
Two things with that.
Did you
Firstly,
eat it still?
No.
Health matters. Have an apple.
Yep. Exactly.
Secondly, who was cleaning the preschool that it was still there the next morning?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
Because so up north, schools get cleaned on a night.
That's because you have to be forced to do it.
Yeah, I was
Coming
going to
from
say,
the guy that's drinking full fat Coke.
Nope.
Ooh.
other soft beverages are available.
Pepsi Max also
Not
counts as
in
you
my
would-
house, not in my house, but they're out there.
Once again, Coca-Cola. We are
Once again, Dan is stuck in the past with the old branding and the old can.
Mate, what you got to be like that?
I thought you meant the actual
Just use the experimental Coke cans on you guys up north first before they give us the good stuff.
Yeah, because I know there'll be more on it.
Sorry that you only can afford Coca-Cola for Poland.
Yeah.
What?
The South is more retro.
Yeah.
I'm not. No, we like to think we're retro, a bit hippie.
No, we are retro because we don't get updated until the North.
You know, one of my biggest memories of primary school was,
Oh, go on.
I used to have a best friend in primary school and we'd always play football at lunchtime. Granted, even back then, I still wasn't very good. And I got really annoyed at him one day that he beat me on some fast skill. So I literally chased after him across the grass and two-footed him in the back of the knee in year 6.
Stars, you mean? Go on.
Full on Joey Barton did straight in the back of the knee.
Joey Barton, that's a good callback, that is. It's awful. There's people out there right now watching football who don't know who Joey Barton is. And that's a travesty.
Are you sure you didn't Ben Thatcher him?
It was close enough.
Or Roy
I'm pretty
Keane?
sure back in the day, Roy Keane was my idol. And obviously he went full on Alf Inge Haaland. And I just had to replicate my idol.
So who's your idol now?
Come along and you cantonade him, like, off you go.
Exactly.
Who's your idol now?
It's a tough one because there's so many bang average footballers out there that I've got to pick one of them and I just can't.
I wasn't talking about footballers, I just meant life in general.
Again, too many to pick from. I would say I remember my first day of school is kind of a blur and a rush. I remember there's a funny story off the back of it though. It was nursery and there's kids rushing around and everything, and my great granddad and my nan dropped me off. And we only
with your suitcase.
Huh? Yeah.
With your suitcase.
Yeah, with my suitcase. Something about nans, they just do that. I don't get it.
I thought it was dads, but it's nans.
Yeah.
Down south.
Exactly. Yeah, so they dropped me off. My nan went shopping because we only used to do, like, when I first started going, they only did like half days, which is only like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, whatever it was. And then you'd go and then they'd bring in the other half, the afternoon nursery. You'd never meet, but you'd share a peg with them because you'd have your name on the peg and then some other person. I think mine was like David or something. I was like, never met David in all my life. Didn't know who he was, but he shared my peg. We shared a peg, the nursery. I was the AM, he was the PM. Never met once, but a great story of that is my nan went shopping for however many hours, and my granddad was parked outside the school my great granddad, outside the school, and he ended up getting the police round on him because somebody reported him for sitting outside of a school because he was sitting there drinking some tinnies, as you do, because
What, in the driving seat?
yeah, it was cars off. He's just sat there. He's got his I don't know, Green King IPA, little cans or whatever they are, just on there, just like a couple for like the few hours. Good old man that he was, and yeah, somebody called the police on him, and he had to explain why he was sat up the front of a school drinking tinnies in his car. Oh, so that's happy days. That's good. Talking about football and that, was sport quite everyone here like super sporty in the younger years in primary school?
Yeah, primary school.
I tried to be, but I wasn't in that popular group, was I?
No, well, I know that. I was a little quiet kid. That was my thing. I never really played a lot of sport, football, in sort of primary school.
You don't?
Yeah, I've gone full circle in many respects there, Gary. I mean, some would say I never played football at all.
Literally.
All right, Gary. Oh. Round as a shape. I am in shape.
Oh, dear. Sport was all I used to do at school.
I used to play football a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, being a cricketer, I played for the school cricket team when I got to secondary school. And cross country, I quite enjoyed, weirdly enough.
Well, you've got long legs, you can do it in 5 strides.
I was going to say,
but in primary school, it was very much football or British Bulldogs on the playground.
Oh, British Bulldog. Bulldog. Oh.
Before I got banned, in our school I got banned.
Oh, yeah, it did.
I'll tell you the sport I did. You know the like table football?
Yeah.
You know the little tiny ball you got on it?
Are you about to say table tennis? Are you explaining table tennis?
No. The little tiny football that was rock solid. Yeah. Basically, I took that to school because we all had to queue up at St. Mary's to get the football, and whoever got there first got the football.
Yeah.
I bought this little table football, and then all my mates in between, like the changing rooms, made goalposts and just played there.
With the tiny football.
Yeah, with a tiny football. Got a crowd, put it that way.
Most people that have watched and play football, bear in mind he's a streamer.
Man.
That's the L. Oh.
Yeah, well.
I'm just going in on people here. Zach, you're next.
Bring it.
Also, I remember like you could, especially in primary school, we had this bucket with lots of like games, playground games, like hopscotch. I can't remember some of the names. Somewhere where you have to spin around 3 times and then chase people. No, not kiss chase.
It's the equivalent of when you go on holiday and you do that drunk thing where you get drunk and then you spin on the
thing.
Yeah. Apart from we weren't allowed tequila.
Oh, well.
That's a damn shame.
But no, I remember that you tried to get the best game. One was called Big Ben or something like that. But that was pretty cool, like just socialising and trying new games. Can't remember any.
I can't believe the disparity between even St Mary's and Greyheath. Bucket of games.
We have more money
to choose from. Are you joking? Our game was to try and not get shivved.
Or shanked.
Talk about table tennis there.
Yeah.
We had
a little edit there. I'm going to have to, everyone be quiet. And carry on. There we go. I'll just cut to that. That's fine.
My head teacher in primary school was big on his table tennis, and so was the PE teacher for the school. So at lunchtime, we'd always get the table tennis tables up, and the year sixes would play like table tennis against the head teacher, where you'd got a shot, run around the table, back the line, and if you miss, you're out.
Yeah.
And then the winner would always then play the PE teacher on like a proper game, and that got a decent crowd in. Not that I ever won.
On the subject of table tennis, Dan, you didn't go to Riverside, did you?
No, I didn't. I went to the Heath. I went to the Heath, Great Heath College.
Because I went to table tennis club, and I remember the teacher, Mr. O'Donoghue.
Table tennis club, do you have your outfit?
And we played round the table.
Yeah.
And we had this guy called Ian. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say his full name.
Is it the Ian that I know?
It starts with T, West Ham supporter.
Oh, no, it would be the Ian.
Oh, no.
It was me. I don't know why I'm asking that question. Carry on.
Anyway, we were around there and he had a bit of anger issues, let's say. And the teacher decided to play a little prank on him by scooping it up so someone could smash it, get him out. So he scooped him up. Someone smashed it, and Ian just got his table tennis racket, bat, whatever you want to call it, and smashed it onto the PE gym floor and actually made a dent. And his catchphrase was, "That does it!" and just ran out. Stomped out.
It's not that catchy, but yeah, no, that's right. It's Spurs at the moment.
And then same guy, West Ham lost. There was a comment, and out of nowhere he just went, pew! Just said, "That does it." Went out.
That does it. I love that.
That does it.
I
It was
feel as though that
pretty funny.
that should be our Warzone win phrase.
Yeah.
Does it?
That does
Last
it.
kill. Last kill.
Does it?
Yeah, Dad, if you don't say that before you rage quit.
Every
So
time.
what? So what? We're giving him medleys within the next hour.
Yeah.
Guys, why don't we call this podcast "That Does It"?
No, because they don't have to change all the graphics. I'm not doing that because it's already taken me long enough.
It's not like you got anything else to do.
Oh, yeah. Not at all. Only work, and kids, and school, and all this other stuff. But yeah,
But
I
yeah,
do remember once in school, though,
yeah.
my mum would work, and my grandparents on my dad's side lived within walking distance of the school. And then my grandparents on my mum's side, if she was working, would come and pick me up and take me home and stay there till my mum finished work. And this one day, I completely forgot that my grandparents on my mum's side were coming to pick me up. Walked to my grandparents on my dad's side, knocked on the door like, "You're not meant to be here today." Walked back to school, and literally my granddad and his partner and the full school of teachers were searching the school for me.
You mean
You
not
joined
one,
in. Like,
not one of them could have just
Hey,
looked
Dad.
around and just
Hey, Dad.
seen your little ginger head bobbing around at 6'2". I guarantee you were 6'2" when you were like 5.
five.
I
over-
was quite
he's
tall
over
in primary school.
no, that's a giraffe. But no, Dan, their grandparents do it differently.
Yeah,
We get dropped off and never see them
pick
again,
up.
and they can pick them up.
Yeah, proper grandparents, that's why.
And did you, when you were young, when you were getting put in the nursery, did you have an interview? Because I remember this very vividly. I had an interview where one of the one of the nursery teachers came round to our house and looked at some work they'd given me to do
For nursery.
for nursery. I remember
Oh,
very
yeah,
vividly.
yeah. Actually, I had Jurgen Klopp, Jose Mourinho, and Arsene Wenger turn up asking me questions.
No, genuinely, it was a genuine thing. They'd set me like homework to do for a week, and then they came out and did like a little sit down and chat
What
with me.
nursery did you go to?
hell?
I went to the one at Milnertown Football Club.
No, I went to Heath Primary School, their nursery. I guess it was ahead of their time.
Reception. No, it's reception.
No, mine
No,
was,
there's nursery and then reception.
yeah, we had
Yeah,
nursery. It was
Well,
nursery.
I've never had an interview
Yeah, no,
for school.
see,
We didn't get work to take home, let alone work to do before we even got there.
What was the homework for you, Dan? What is 2 plus
I
2?
had to-
Yeah, you're in.
I had to do some basic spelling, and I had to draw a tree of my choice.
What kind of tree? Oak tree?
I drew an apple
beech
tree. I drew an apple tree, and I actually drew all the little apples on it and everything. And they said that was a good attention to detail and showed a
Was
real
one mouldy?
creative flair. Oh.
Was one mouldy, Dan?
No, it wasn't mouldy. No. So I should no, because if I was, then I'd have drawn little Zach in the corner stomping off. But yeah, no, I've asked loads of people that. Everyone who went to the nursery remembers doing that, but everyone outside of our school doesn't remember it at all. And I think
Right,
it's
Dan.
exclusively our
Dan.
school.
I think you're getting confused, mate.
No,
There's
not.
there is. There's a nursery interview or there's an immigration interview.
I didn't have one of them. I got a free pass in this country.
I think you're getting confused.
They've been given a free pass ever since.
You know it. This podcast could be the thing that outs me. I could be gone next week. I could be doing this from Barbados on the run.
I'm probably going to. Well, you could.
They're gonna be
You
like-
just got to change your green screen to Barbados.
I could do, yeah. I'm not going to because that's effort.
Mhm.
It's a classic classroom experience. This is like every class I ever was in.
I never saw one because I was so naughty. They stuck me in a cupboard. Like genuinely.
Which school did you go to? Matilda?
Genuinely, in year 4, I had a teacher. I won't say her name.
Trunchable.
Pretty much. But no, she was all right. But I was so loud in the classroom that literally we had the classroom and then there was like a side room that went off. And it was literally no bigger than like, all it could fit in it was like one desk, a chair, and you could just about move around the desk to sit down. And that was about
You joke about schools having these rooms. After uni, I did a bit of PE work in schools back where I went to uni.
Yeah.
And one of them had a teacher whose role was behavioural management something, BM something. And they had a room that literally had one wall padded because they had that naughty children that like hit the thing. On my last day there, I had this big like year 6 fair thing, and they hired like sumo suits and all sorts. And the behaviour management guy came up like, "Oh, do you want to get into a suit and like sumo fight so and so?" One of the really naughty kids went, "No, I kind of pass on that." Cool. Well, I'm going to get in it, and he full on grabbed this year 6 kid, slammed him, and missed the mat on the playground, and slammed him on the like literally playground floor. Got up, smiling, loving his life.
Oh my days.
That's the primary schools of the Northwest.
That doesn't surprise me.
Surely that's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah. Unless you're in the Northwest.
Then the day he put his little helmet on and went down the coal mine.
Exactly. Right, they make you shafty made by slamming him in the floor.
Well, if we're going to talk about discipline, I guess in middle school.
So, what
year
years
5,
in school?
year 5 to 8.
Yeah, 5 to 8.
Yeah, 5 to 8.
Yeah.
So
I've got better memories than I do. I don't bloody know. It's all a blur.
Key stage 2 and key stage 3.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. But
No.
anyway, this story will. Basically, we had something called the logbook. Great Heath might have had something similar.
We had in secondary school for 7 and 8, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're praised to do something, fuck off, Siri.
Special guest.
Other activated units are available.
Alexa is there.
No, don't say that, mate. Don't do it.
Alexa, turn on the kettle.
Oh,
Actually, that's fine.
Oh, anyway, there was a thing called a logbook. So if you were praised to do something, you had to go get it, and you got written in the front, and you got praised basically in school assembly. But when there's a front, there's a back, and 9 times out of 10, if I had
always
to go
got
get the
put in the
logbook,
back.
Yep, and my record was 52 times in 1 year.
nice.
I never saw. I saw about 4 lunchtimes that year, and one of the comments. I still don't know how this comment still got into the back of the logbook. I really don't. The teacher asked, "Has anyone seen my pencil?" And I shouted out, "Yeah, up your arse and round the corner." I don't know I don't know why that is in the back. And also, I got accused of throwing a chair at someone when she threw it at me, so I just threw it back at her.
I mean, logic.
I mean, all lives
Jack,
matter.
have you ever thrown a chair at one of your pupils to get it thrown back at you?
Oh, that's probably another subject.
Felt like it.
Yeah,
But,
we had a teacher French teacher, who threw a chair at my friend George because he got really angry, and then he kind of lost it. But then he tried to make it all up to us by letting us all play balls for the rest of the lesson.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
We had
Quick.
we had a RE teacher who was like completely like anti-devil and all things like 666. And one of the really naughty kids of our school, secondary school, wrote 666 on a whiteboard before she came in, and she saw it and literally ran and locked herself in her own store cupboard until someone wiped it off the whiteboard.
Wow.
That's a great lesson.
Welcome to the north.
Yeah.
That sounds like supply teachers not turning up and you doing all crazy shit.
Oh, did anyone do that thing where it's like, right, if teachers don't turn up 10 minutes into lesson, we're
Yes.
legally allowed
Yeah,
to leave?
yeah.
It is
And then
the
on the ninth
unwritten
minute,
rule of school.
Yep.
and then on the ninth minute, a teacher will always turn up.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
there's always a maths teacher as well.
yeah.
But you can't really discuss time with him.
That's because they've got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No,
What subject do you teach, sir?
I teach science. Yeah,
Oh.
mainly biology.
An actual
I
subject.
know. Real. I know.
That's not a real subject. It's not like PE or music. That's a.
Well, I
I'm
did
going to
score
get in trouble now. I get in trouble now because my music teacher, my old music teacher, actually follows me on Facebook. So when I share this, she's going to moan at me.
Ooh. Ow.
Music
Yeah,
is a
but-
real subject, and I excelled in it. And I thank you for my grade. Thank you.
Yeah, but let's face it, music was literally 1 hour of pressing the DJ button on the
Yes.
keyboard.
Did anyone else
DJ.
have dance DJ
DJ.
on their computer?
DJ.
DJ,
Was that
DJ.
Gareth band?
Literally, one hour of music was 45 minutes of pressing that and 15 minutes of trying to learn Children by Robert Miles.
Why can't
Oh, that's a great tune.
why can I picture just Gary doing DJ Cammy? You're my little you're my cutie pie.
We're gonna
That's the
get
back of
struck
the
down. We're
book
gonna get
song.
taken down.
That is a
No,
back of the bus
You're
song.
allowed the first 9 seconds, Dan.
Yeah. Also, I doubt any algorithm in the world will be able to pick up what actual song we were trying to sing there.
DJ Cammy.
2008, whatever it was, 2006. Oh, that's,
Oh, I really want to
that's
play
a
that.
long-
It was definitely not 2006.
that's a
No,
long
No, it was
time.
2000. No, it was 2006 because I was listening to it on a school trip to France, and it was the only song I was playing apart, on the way there.
There you go.
How
That's
long was that trip?
About 8 hours on repeat. I was like, DJ Cammy.
Ads gone green on my screen. It's only taken him what 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Hey.
Oh, we'll struggle on. Great technology. In fact, tell you what, I'll use this opportunity now
Oh, it's back.
to cut to an ad break. So if we can all be quiet. The Moderately Informed podcast is sponsored this week by the Barber's Head Barbershop. We want to thank them for their support this week and to let you know that from Monday, the 12th of April, that the barbers are back and they're here to get rid of all of our unsightly mops and lockdown haircuts. So to book with Barber's Head, simply go to thebarbershead.nearcut.com. That's thebarbershead.nearcut.com. We thank them once again for sponsoring the podcast. Back to the show. And we're back. And it's as simple as that, because I'm going to edit it in. It's lovely. The joys of it. So
I am 2 minutes trying to find the DJ Cammy song.
oh God.
Oh, no.
What is
Just
that?
just put DJ Cammy Cupcake.
Is that what it was called? Cupcake?
No, but everyone knows it by DJ Cammy Cupcake.
Do they? I just know it by DJ Cammy. That's the only song I remember them doing.
And
Can you
just
hear
mixed those 2 words up. You just definitely said DJ Cummy. That's a whole new
DJ Cammy by Cupcake.
I'm going to have to put subtitles on this podcast.
Yeah.
DJ Cammy.
So I was wanting to talk briefly. What school trips did everyone go on? What school trips do we remember going on?
But you boys hear that?
Hear what? No.
No. Oh, you got to share the audio. It says share of audio. It's in one of the share setting things.
This is the part of the podcast where we try and discover how to do things on the podcast.
Audio set.
And now to
Audio.
another ad break.
Yeah. We've literally got one sponsor for this. So
Right.
School
One of my
trip.
trips was to Inactivities Week in MCT. Dan will be able to relate now. He actually,
Yeah, I went there. I know that place.
yeah. So in Gear 9,
Gear
at the
9.
end, yeah, huh?
I was afraid you said Gear 9.
Gear 9,
Gear
Year
9.
9. We took some gear. No,
It's MCT, so
Oh, I can't find it anywhere.
I think Gary's froze now.
Gary's having his own podcast.
Yeah, Activities Week. So in my year, it'd probably be the same with Dan because he's only a year older. We had the options of going to Disneyland and another theme park in Paris, going on a romantic tour around the Eiffel Tower. You could have bits and bobs around the area. You could go to Morocco
Yeah,
or
I
Spain.
don't know. I don't know. It was different every year.
Yeah, so I went to Paris. That was a sick trip.
Yeah.
And then I went to Belgium a year later for an educational World War.
You guys probably had it. Like up north, there's this place called Carlton. Carlton, which is a bit in the middle of nowhere, and you go like almost camping for the week, and it's meant to be like team building and all sorts of this.
Oh, they shipped
Like year
us.
6.
Yeah, they had it at MCT, but they shipped everyone off to Wales. They tried to get them as far away as possible, and they moved them all to Wales.
But there was 4 of us that didn't go, and at the same time, Princess Margaret was doing a royal visit to the town, so we had to design something for Princess Margaret to look at, and then we went and like presented it to her. Who's the cooler person here right now?
When did you met Princess Margaret? I've met the Queen in sort of.
Sort of.
There was a competition. There was a competition at our
I've seen on the TV.
So yes. There was a competition. There was a competition at our school in primary school to write a poem about the Queen's Jubilee, and the 20 best got to go to the Abbey Gardens in Bury St Edmunds and go to the royal celebration there, because she came to the Abbey Gardens, and I was like 3 rows away from where she was. So I've been quite close to the Queen. I've been quite close to it. And Prince Charles was there, I think, if I remember rightly. It was a long time ago.
Was Prince Philip still purple?
Dan,
I don't know. I don't think he was there. What?
Dan, I think someone's just coming to your classroom, mate.
Oh, yeah. You got a kid or delivering post.
What?
Register needs picking up.
Yeah, you ain't done your register today.
What?
So confused. I got told off for that today for not doing the register. I completely forgot.
I love taking the registers to reception.
Yeah, you should take
Best
as
part
long
of the
as
day.
possible.
Yeah, longest way you
Yeah,
can.
normally.
I do remember actually. Did anyone else used to like bend the ruler and hit it off someone's arm?
Yep.
Oh yeah. The old shatterproof
I did
rulers.
that once with
I
with
just
the
owned a
supply
bent.
teacher in, but the ruler snapped and like hit this girl in the face, and I got the biggest telling off of my life.
No. Yeah.
I did mine with bendy rulers.
We
Bendy
had
rulers.
a lot of wooden rulers.
Bendy rulers. Bendy rulers hurt more than wooden rulers.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
plastic
yeah.
ones.
You could get some proper whip on it though. It wasn't just the straight. It was like proper.
Yep.
Who else also coloured their rubber in the colour of the pencil?
Oh yeah, every time.
Oh,
Or pen
and
or
then you
whatever
got
else they used to have. Gel pen. Who collected gel pens?
Yeah, just because the
Yeah.
smell. Bubble
Smelly
gum.
gel pens. Smelly gel pens.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who
that was-
also, you were saying it took ages to take the register back. Who also purposely sharpened the pencil twice because their best friend was also sharpening the
Oh,
pencil
yeah, absolutely.
all the time. Purposely snap it.
Yeah, there's a few tricks of the trade of sort of getting me able to chat to your mates.
Yep. Or you could just do it like I did and just not give a damn and just do it and get in trouble every lesson.
Yeah.
I literally, in case where they'd have to they sent a student down to like the reception because they had to the reception had to send someone to come get me from class. And they'd send a student down to do that to say, right, Zach's being naughty in class, can you come get him? Like basically, it's called a red card. They sent a student out of my class. I then left the class, walked out, picked her up over my shoulder, walked back to the class with her and put her back down in her seat in the class before she got to reception. I just refused. Not
The
having
drama of that is he did that last week.
it. Yeah.
Who is Mrs.?
Oh,
Oh, no.
What else was there?
What subject do people hate the most in school?
math.
Yeah.
I loved RE.
Fucking hated art.
See,
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't mind art. I liked art. Art was a bit of a dog.
Art was the only subject that ever got any detention from.
Ooh.
Very
I
nice.
think that was the subject I didn't.
What subject did I hate?
I don't know. can't
I
answer that.
don't know. Not you. You tell us.
I,
I was, uh,
loved art.
You love what?
Oh,
loved IT purely because Miniclip was just founded and I had to figure out how to block it. So I played paintball pool on Miniclip.
Stanley James, free kick challenge.
Yeah.
Jumpers for goalpost.
Did anyone used to play slime soccer? Where you used to be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
He's
good
also
fun.
played
Baggio,
a Wimbledon tennis game as well. When Wimbledon,
Yes, there was a tennis game.
Baggio.
Actually,
Yeah, Baggio, free.
Stick football. Stick
Cricket. There was stick cricket as well. But the only cricket.
No, stick cricket. Sorry, stick cricket.
Yeah, stick cricket. It was the only cricket I ever played.
What else?
Missing out.
No one's missing out on cricket.
What was that little blob that played football where it's like a remote thing and you could jump? Is it like a little blob? Oh, what? There's a little blob, like you could pick your own colour blob. And you played against someone, you could jump and try to score.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about. Slime soccer.
Is that slime soccer?
That's it, slime.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then you have to jump, and all you can do is jump up. So you're trying to head the ball over them into the goal.
Yeah.
It's still better than FIFA.
See,
Still better than FIFA.
And Zach explained that really quickly and really easily. You were describing a fever dream you once had.
Oh yeah, there was this massive blob in goal and he just would not save anything.
Yeah.
Also, speaking secondary school,
Like,
how did you guys do school dinners?
Oh,
Because
I got given lunch money.
we had like a dinner card that we had to put money on,
well,
and then we'd pay for it on the dinner card every kind of day. It was the most
we got
awkward way of doing
tokens.
things.
Yeah,
Okay.
I came from a poor family, so I got free school dinners.
well, winner.
Yeah, so winner, school dinner.
Typical migrant.
So I used to pile up on the mashed potato that tastes like wallpaper paste. And the fish
Bits
fingers.
of lump in it.
Yeah, and the fish fingers that you could probably sharpen and use as a pencil. Or the fish cakes that you cut into.
Definitely weren't fish.
Yeah, it definitely weren't fish cakes. Like, I don't know what's in them, but it weren't fish. It was like cutting into, I don't know, drywall.
Dan, you'll remember this. Probably the only good bit of school dinners in MCT.
Yeah.
The spag bowl, the sausage and bolognese.
Oh, that was bloody lovely. No, I'll tell you what.
Oh,
We're on to the bit of the podcast where I'm going to rant about Jamie Oliver because he ruined my school dinner experience.
Yeah, same.
he got the chocolate machine that we could get.
Put your mic in. Sort your mic out.
Jamie Oliver, you ruined it.
I mentioned Jamie Oliver.
No, literally. Fuck
Are you using that mic?
But yeah.
That'd be all right.
Huh?
Are you using that mic? You
Yeah.
were.
It's not here for show, mate. Right, I think we're ending there on the next podcast.
Yeah, we'll cut to the next podcast and you'll still be fiddling with that damn mic.
This is the new intro.
Yeah, it's just Anthony for 30 seconds trying to get his mic to work.
30 seconds? That's pushing it.
Couple of minutes.
Anyway, moving on. As I say, Jamie Oliver ruined my school dinners and break time experience. Because for when I went to upper school, for break time every day for about probably the first half of the year. God's sake, man.
We go for another ad break.
I'll bring up a technical difficulty section, like just for a second. We'll wait. And I'll cut back in now, so you're still fiddling with it, so you still look like an idiot. I might have to change it to the back to school podcast to the one that Ant fiddles with his mic for 20 minutes.
You know what though? You're talking about Jamie Oliver there. You realise he never did anything with the desserts. Because school dinner desserts were always the best part of a school dinner.
Yeah, I appreciate he didn't touch that, but he got rid of my turkey Twizzlers at lunchtimes. The bastard.
That's what I was about to say. Turkey Twizzlers.
He got rid of turkey Twizzlers, and they're back now, but they don't taste as good because they're not covered in MSG and other additives, and that's just wrong.
I haven't tried them. I haven't tasted them yet. I need to.
Also, he took away our chocolate machine that we could get free chocolate when the didn't let
Replaced,
got to lock
replaced
it.
by a vending machine that served apple crisps and appetizer.
Appetizer was nice.
Yeah, appetizer.
Yeah, okay,
Appetizer was
okay,
fine.
all right, fine. Appetizer was all right.
All right, appetizer was fine.
But apple crisps and carrot crisps. They did carrot crisps in that same damn vending machine. Ah,
We had a tuck shop, and we had they were selling like Space Invaders in there.
yeah, no,
Yeah, we had that too. That got taken down.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, in our year, we had a guy called Nick, and his mum worked at one of the local corner shops, so she'd just give him like all old product and stuff.
Nice.
She'd take it home, or she'd do loads of bacon and whatever else, and he'd come to school and sell his entire packed lunch to all the other kids, and we'd all just buy his wagon wheels, we'd buy his sandwiches, we'd buy like every single thing you'd imagine off him. And I think after about 6 weeks, he managed to pay for the brand New England shirt, and he'd come into school wearing it on like on uniform days, like, cheers guys, cheers.
We
And
had,
they were like 60 quid.
we had a really weird kid at school who would go around picking up all of the 1p's and 2p's off the floor. And that's literally how he would spend his break time and lunchtime by himself, just picking every bit of change up off the floor.
What's he doing now?
Absolute mint.
And today,
What's he doing now? Has he got a
Jerry
10-bed mansion?
Yeah.
He's got a 10-bed mansion in Hartlepool.
yeah, which cost him £5.
So that
So
only
you're
took him a
talking about
few.
house prices there, Dan. I showed Dan a house earlier that's close to where my school was that costs 10 grand.
Yeah, I'd rather be homeless.
I pay more than that for my rent a year.
I was like, my deposit, my deposit for this 2-bed was like
mortgage.
40 grand or 30 grand, whatever it was. It was ridiculous.
What the hell?
Mental.
I pay 13 grand and a half to live in.
Yeah, well,
Well,
that's
more
just
than that,
me because I'm a massive snob and I wanted to live in a fairly nice area that was close enough
And
to my
that's because
friends.
you're in London, Zach.
yeah.
I wanted to be close enough to my friends, but far enough away that I could go. I don't want to go out today.
Bye.
And then all of a sudden, you couldn't go out any day for a year.
Exactly. Literally moving at
So
this
now
house,
you're going to be
stuck in it.
you're going to be out every day for the next year.
Oh, I'm
No, you're
absolutely not. I've actually kind of enjoyed being on my own sometimes.
Mm.
Not been
I
too
get
bad.
that.
Which
Anyway,
brings
back to the subject.
me on to a good subject. How would we have handled being in school, primary, middle, upper, whatever, during a pandemic?
I would
I still,
We'd
I
have
still,
loved it.
did no work.
I'd have
We'd have
still
loved it for 3 letters.
letters.
MSN.
Oh, yeah.
Fair
We'd
play.
have lived on MSN.
No, but
MSN and MySpace.
yeah, but you couldn't get on the internet until after 6
Yeah,
because that's when it was cheaper.
yeah. It used to cost like 7p a minute.
Speak for yourselves.
No, it was like what was it? It was quite a lot of money. It was like 7p or 10p or whatever it was a minute, and then on the weekends for us, because we had free serve internet, which I think turned into Orange. Amazing. We had free serve internet, and it was like 10p or something a minute during the week. Maybe 7p, I think, after 6 during weekdays, but at the weekend, from Friday from 7 o'clock, it went to 1p a minute, and I'd give my nan £1 for my allowance. I'd like £1 worth of internet, please. I'd have to go downstairs, unplug the telephone.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
Put it
but
in
the
the
thing,
computer.
but the thing is, though, guys, Dan had his 100 minutes, but he still spoke to no one.
Oh, that's just harsh. I spoke to everybody.
Yeah, but they
What?
didn't speak back.
Nudge, nudge,
Why
nudge, nudge.
you not point out things? No, I just sent loads of people those ridiculous like meme things. Like that kid that comes up and goes,
oh.
or the guy, the one who throws the
MSN
water
was the
balloon.
one.
goes,
MSN and MySpace.
And when you didn't like someone that just came offline, you went online, you went offline, but still played your music, so they knew you're online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appear
And
online.
then you had MySpace that you could put music songs onto your home profile.
Yeah. And
But
Bebo.
I
Bebo's coming back.
Everybody
coming
was friends
back.
with Tom Anderson.
I know.
Bebo's coming back.
yeah, I sort of
Yeah,
I
just
never got
not as a
into-
social media site.
Yeah, I never got into what was it? MySpace. I
MySpace.
completely missed MySpace.
I didn't like MySpace. I didn't get it.
I was on something called Pixo. If anyone remembers
Yes.
Aaron
Mhm.
Pixo.
Because you have to
that
get
was-
glittery writing for your home
You got glittery writing. You could have a theme song playing tinny, crappy music in the background whenever you logged onto it, and you had all your pictures of your friends.
That was such a good website.
Never
So I
used it.
Pixo, and then from that I think I evolved onto Bebo, and then Bebo was just it.
No,
Like,
it was Bebo and then Pixo because you could share your
was
Pixo.
it Bebo and Pixo? Was it? Oh, okay. Well, I kind of fell into them both.
You could get a
And
widget.
then MySpace, and then Facebook.
No, MySpace was the original one, but Bebo overtook straight away.
Yeah, because I missed MySpace entirely. I was Bebo, Pixo, and then I went from that to Facebook, and then all the way through that was MSN.
I remember because MySpace was for all the music lovers.
Mm-hmm.
But then
I found some
Bebo,
really good bands on MySpace.
Bebo was the one that you literally, oh, why am I not number one on your friend? Oh,
Yeah, the arrows that
you don't
pointed
like
to
me.
your
Oh,
friend.
Be my other
no.
half. Be my other half.
Oh, if I send you 3 love hearts, will you send me 3 love hearts? Well, why have you given it to that person?
I didn't
That
have
taught
Bebo,
me.
so this is going straight over my head.
Oh,
But Bebo was absolutely amazing. And when Facebook came, I was like, nah, I'm staying on Bebo the rest of my life.
Yeah, I stayed on Bebo for a while, but then I think everyone eventually transitioned over to Facebook.
Bebo, oh, that was so good for customization,
They were
everything.
Literally, you would get in from school, having spent a day talking to people, log straight onto MSN and start talking to them again.
yeah.
yep.
Just like us now, but we're on Zoom and Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly.
Apart from you three have like proper working jobs where you can't play it at the same time, whereas I have a job that allows me to play it at the same time.
Good. We might be frowned upon.
You can do it. You can do anything in life.
Yeah, I'll deal with lunchtime. If I
I'll
ever
bring it
have
in
one.
and plug it into
What,
my
your
over-
6-hour lunch break, Daniel Herrera?
Yeah, my 6-hour lunch break. That one that starts at about 8:30 and goes through.
To 4:30.
Yeah, all the way through.
And then my official lunch break in between that.
Exactly. You got to have a lunch break, for the official lunch break.
That's when you do your
Time.
work. That's when you do your work during your
Exactly,
official
yeah.
lunch break.
I'm eating. I'm typing at the same time.
That's like being back in school when you would eat your lunch in secondary school as fast as you can,
to get
so
out.
that you could get the basketball court or the football court.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or you missed your lunch. This was a good technique in Riverside. You missed your lunch because you had packed lunch. The teacher would say, has everyone had lunch? You say no. You got chucked out of class to eat your lunch, but you still had your full lunch.
Nah.
Also, you got detention, but
yeah,
worth it.
that never used to fly with us. We were just
Swings
working
and
out.
roundabouts, doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to eat, and then we got put in detention for the entire
Full
lunch
stop.
of the day.
we weren't allowed to eat.
Yeah,
full
no,
stop.
you're not eating. You're not eating.
What else? There's something else. Going back off schools, going home. Who always used to get the buzz out of a weekend? Not on Bieber or anything like that, when prices were fluctuated, but going like out with your friends and building a den, a proper den,
Swing with the oddest bit of rope that you could find.
and stealing allotment equipment. I mean, what?
I still feel bad about something I did to this day. Like I think back at it, and I remember it. An animal rights activist.
Someone dial 999 quick.
No, genuinely, like my mum's a vegan. She sees this or hears this, she's gonna kill me. But
She's gonna. Don't do it.
Perfect.
like, no,
Perfect. Let's go.
I'm
Come on,
starting now.
juicy.
Come on, do it for the content. Do it for the content.
Come on, Zach, for the content.
We were in the field and we had tennis rackets, and so we were walking along, just kind of swinging, and then we noticed a frog on the floor. So we picked the frog up, we put it on our tennis racket, and we absolutely sent it into orbit to see how high it would go. and that was what we did. And now I look back at it like thinking, oh my god.
See, you did that. I got in trouble off my man because we went to the campsite one weekend where we had a caravan and walked in with my jumper off because I'd seen a hedgehog that had hurt itself. So picked it up in my jumper. I was like, Mum, I found this, and she absolutely flipped it. She found me, which I didn't know, hedgehog could have loads of germs and shit.
Yeah.
So then she burnt my jumper as well.
And the hedgehog.
And that was Gary's only jumper.
So the head just chucked the whole thing on the fire. Die!
Even threw Gary on there.
Yeah. I'm clean.
No.
But no, building the den was so much fun, especially during the summer. Like, I live around the corner from a few people, and it was just amazing. Like, getting the landline, calling their house phone. Oh, is so and so coming out to play? Oh yeah, come and knock for me in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we would go down and build a den, build booby traps, because we had a rival just down the pathway.
Yeah.
Put all the blame on them, and yeah, it was so much fun.
Nice. I used to go around with my friends, and then we used to venture out into farmers' fields. And and I don't know if you're the same, but if you go into a farmer's field, we always used to be told that it was legal for them to shoot you on sight.
Yep. That was the rule.
Did any of you also on weekends have like a rule of your parents that you couldn't go around your friends till a certain time in case they weren't up?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
I had this friend called James, and like I go, oh mum, I'm just gonna play out with James. Like, no, it's not like 9 o'clock yet. They might not be up yet. Guaranteed they won't.
Yeah, because they were doing the same thing.
Yeah, but I've been talking to him through the string and 2 bean cans. He's definitely up. Did anyone ever go round to like their next door neighbours who were like their best friends and just slept over there for no reason at all?
What?
Like literally. No, like round the corner, I lived near someone called Spencer, and we had sleepovers each other. Huh?
There's a friend called Spencer. You grew up in Chelsea or Fulham?
Yeah. Before I went to that's how I got into St Mary's. I didn't need an interview. I just said I come from Chelsea.
Privileged. They were just checking to see if I was worth it.
But yeah, it was just like I slept round like my best mates, and it was just like thinking back, what is the point of sleeping around someone that lives 2 doors away?
Yeah, you might as well go. Yeah.
When walkie-talkies actually went that distance.
Oh, walkie-talkies! I remember walkie-talkies.
Mm.
Oh,
taking walkie-talkies. Do any of you remember your first mobile phone?
Yes, Nokia 3310.
Yep.
Nokia 3310 was my second one.
What?
My first one was this blue Motorola that had an aerial on it.
Yeah, mine had one. I had a BT Cellnet phone, the company that eventually turned into BT Cellnet, big black brick, orange back or green background. I can't remember what it was now. Little aerial, big aerial. It used to unscrew and screw on, and yeah, that was my first phone. I had that for ages, absolutely ages.
What was yours, Zach?
No, mine was 3310, and then I went to, I can't remember what I went to after that. It was like a Walkman or something. I thought it was well snazzy. And
Sony Walkman with an orange back.
And I lost it at the zoo, so I had to go back to the 3310, and I got so annoyed with it because it wouldn't do anything. And Snake wouldn't work because Snake was working, and the app just wouldn't work. Not app because it wasn't an app, but and then I remember what I did was, and remember this back in Horinger, I literally just before my lesson I buried it outside the window in dirt and like literally covered it over. Went to my lesson and forgot about it till the end of the day, and a storm had happened, so it literally chucked it down with rain. And I remembered at the end of the day only because one of my mates told me, and I pulled it out and it still worked. It was absolutely fine, not a problem. Like,
what was everyone's favourite?
Everyone in here own a 3410?
No, I went from Nokia to
the holy grail of mobile phones, because I had a 3410.
Was it that green one with really spongy?
No, that's not the Holy Grail. Everyone knows that the Holy Grail was the Motorola Pebble and then the Motorola Razr.
I had the Razr. I had the Razr. They flipped on.
I felt well cool with the Motorola Razr.
Ah.
The best phone was the Sony Walkman with the orange back.
Yeah. The Sony Ericsson 8W10i.
That one. Ooh. That one.
Yeah, see, I know exactly. I know.
Best camera, best Walkman, best everything, best headphones as well.
Yeah. I remember my Motorola Razr died. The day it died was because I got it out of my pocket. Nana was calling me. Got it out, flipped it, and it didn't stop flipping. It just went bloop. Oh no! I had a big floppy phone, and I had to get a new one. I also had
you said phone there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. I also had a 3 phone as well. I can't remember what it was.
Yes.
But it was a big silver.
Wait. Was it the one with the little? Oh no, there was. What did I have? It was like.
It was
similar
one of
to
the, it
what-
was one of the first phones that had like its own internet.
Had a
service.
joystick on, didn't it, Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
My
was
dad
the
had one.
Nokia,
It
wasn't
must
it?
have been. It must have been about the size of this can and as thick as it.
Yeah.
It was
You
huge.
could also buy an extra large battery for it, which would make it then stick out an extra like 6 inches out the back. And it was ridiculous. I remember having it in my pocket, and it would just be like this giant wedge. It was ridiculous.
Oh,
Is your phone in my pocket, or
You
you
can
see me?
What else does everyone like gadget-wise at school? What does everyone remember? I'm not talking about Game Boys or anything like that. I'm talking about more secondary. What is the go-to gadget? Like mine was the PSP.
oh,
Tamagotchi?
oh.
PSP.
Because I'm Northern, it was still a Game Boy.
Yeah.
Game Boy.
And it still is to this day. Do you know what got
Did-
released in Hartlepool the other day? The PS2.
Yeah. Continued in every other country, released in Hartlepool.
But no, the PSP, because obviously with that friendship I went on earlier, you could buy little DVDs, couldn't you, and stuff like that. And I remember watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith with this certain girl. What else was there?
Only time Ant's ever watched a movie with a girl.
And it was
Ended well.
it wasn't forced either.
It was partly bound and gagged.
But then I had a few, like Mr. and Mrs. I played PES with her, FIFA with her. It was so cool. It was just, I remember the PSP was like the holy grail to me.
You do realise by talking PlayStation there, we've missed the real Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Go on then.
The 16-bit Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah.
Back in the day where if the game didn't load, you took the cartridge out, you blew in the bottom of it, and you put it back in.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, on the back of the actual, no one owned the original cases because they all came from our parents mostly. But on the back of the cases, they ended up having print. Don't blow in the cartridges because it actually puts moisture in them that ruins them. The only thing you ever had to do was take it out and put it back in again because it was just a case. It was just misfiring. You never had to blow in it, but somebody just went, "Oh, if you're blowing it, it makes it work." And
Yeah, but it's like going,
everyone.
it's like going up to a fan and then pretending you're a robot by talking into it.
Yeah, that was good fun though.
Yeah, that
So
was.
it's blowing a cartridge.
Back in the day, we talk now about how like Warzone updates would fill our thing up. Back in the day, when on a Saturday morning, you would have to go to the game store or Chips to get a new memory card because yours was full.
Oh, the 25 megabyte. 25 was it 25 megabyte memory cards you said, or 5 megabyte?
64 or 128, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Blockbusters, go down on a Friday night with my granddad,
Oh.
renting out a film.
Spending
Yeah,
a solid
game.
week trying to convince your parents or your family that spending £2.75 on 2-night rental was worth it. That I'll play it this weekend. If we go this Friday, like please, I promise I'll play it. I'll play it every minute of every day that we have it.
Played it once.
You realise the day that went bust was the day that LimeWire became really popular.
Oh,
LimeWire.
LimeWire. Now that was a bastion of school. That was LimeWire.
Oh.
That
you
that
torrent,
will be
eTorrent?
etched.
Yeah,
eTorrent, yes.
Pirate Bay.
They'll both be etched
Crosswire.
in the history of school from home.
Yeah, LimeWire.
LimeWire saved my life.
I'm gonna say Pirate Bay.
Yeah, that's a Pirate
Yes.
Pirate Bay, yeah.
Bay.
Pirate
That's
Bay.
the thing. Pirate Bay is the thing.
LimeWire was absolutely epic.
Yeah.
However, the viruses that gave you computer
I
never
did not
worked.
have sexual
I think I'm
relations with
still
that woman.
suffering from those
I did,
viruses.
however, go to eShare.com. Everyone downloaded that. That was the most listened to track in the whole world at one point on LimeWire.
Beautiful.
What was T2 Heartbroken was the first ever one. And then there was that craze where you just had to go and bounce up in front of people and just knock them about.
Yeah, I remember that. There was
How does
also
that work with your size, Ant?
Huh?
How did that work with your size, Ant?
Oh, I was the one getting knocked about.
Yes.
there
Oh,
was
I went to like the year ones and just knocked them about. Hey, Heartbroken.
there was a game that started in our secondary school off the back of the popularity of wrestling, WWF/WWE. It was something called Booker T, where where you'd kick your mate in the nether regions, so you bent over, and then you'd scissor kick him like Booker T used to.
Yeah.
And it got so prolific in our secondary school that there was a massive assembly about it, and it got banned, and you were threatened with expulsion if you continued to do it.
Thing is, though, you didn't need to create
Please
a
tell
game.
me, Dan, you ran up to the head teacher and Booker T'd the head teacher.
No, I wish, but that was the thing, and that was the other thing. It was only successful Booker T is as your other leg came down from the scissor kick, you yelled Booker T at the top of your lungs. You know, like, Booker T.
Insert Booker T clip here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I probably
Go
won't.
on.
I probably won't. 'Cause I'll
Scream Gerard.
No, please do, but you getting bucketed.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Which quite ironically, when I had my PS1, WWE, WWF SmackDown 2 was my
Oh.
favourite PS1
Know
game.
your role.
The
Is it know your role?
ultimate game.
SmackDown 2.
Yeah, know your role.
It was Know Your Role.
No,
The third one was Just Bring It, wasn't it?
PS1, the best game and my go-to game, and I played hours. Driver
Yes.
was
Or
the
Taxi,
Yeah.
See,
Mine was
I could
eight.
never get into
I
it.
absolutely love
Spyro.
Driver.
Spyro, and original Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. Spyro and Crash Bandicoot were my ones.
We were talking about that yesterday, Dan.
Yeah, Spyro, and also a game called Pandemonium. I played the
Yeah,
hell
I
out of
like
that. There's also a game called Tombi.
Oh,
Mm.
did anyone when they have the Sega have that whale game where like you would
Echo the
whale?
Dolphin?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
Not the whale, the
Yeah.
dolphin.
Do you want to hear a funny story about Echo the Dolphin? I used to play that for hours,
Go on.
right? Level 1. And I'd get to the same bit and I'd never be able to get further because it took me years before I realised you could take the dolphin out of the water, jump over the obstacles and continue the level. I used to literally swim
Yeah.
all of 30 seconds in this first level,
To the wall
stop,
and just bounce
That
off
was it.
the wall constantly.
that was it. And that was my game. And then I tried to
Same.
figure out how to go. And it took me, I think it was probably in my later teens when I finally saw a video on it on YouTube and was like, you're bloody joking. That's
What? An Australian accent?
yeah, you're bloody joking. But yeah,
Imagine
Echo
spending 40 quid on the game
I
just
also
to go
remember
30
that
seconds.
in secondary school, I broke my ankle in PE. So I got obviously sent to hospital and then went home. Because I was that down about breaking my ankle, I got my Sega out just to play Sonic and Echo.
Well, why did you break your ankle in? Was it chess?
No, it was PE.
Yeah, probably chess. I'm just trying to think of boring sports you play.
No, I actually broke it playing cricket.
oh, how'd you break something playing
I
cricket?
broke because you know those like coconut mat wickets that you have in school.
Yeah,
We played it in the rain, and as I bowled, my front foot slipped, and I broke my right ankle at the back.
that's
And
grounds for
my
suing. That's
teacher-
a court case. That is. You got legal grounds there. Get on it.
My teacher thought that I was putting it on and just sprained it, so told me to go to my next lesson, which was German, with our head teacher who was German, and she saw it and she sent me to get it checked out, and it turns out that I'd broke it in 2 places.
Did she say to you in German, go and get it checked out?
Yeah.
He didn't understand. You're like, yeah.
She's
Yeah.
holding him by the ankle saying that.
Yeah.
Talking about cricket, actually, in all seriousness, as much as I slate cricket, one of the best ever sports I played at school was cricket.
No.
Cricket.
Rounders.
Yeah, I like rounders.
Cricket was so much fun.
And you launch the bat, you're like, oh.
Yes, not baseball.
Or one of the kids behind me got, it wasn't me that did it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
He was, no. But he was behind me and he went to smack it. And he's launched the bat round the back of him and he knocked a kid out.
Oh,
Funny enough, you say that, in the year 5 cricket festival for the town, I did that. I was really upset about it. And in the year 6 cricket festival, I was the person that got hit by the bat by someone doing it.
Full circle.
How much luck can you have?
That's amazing. I think sporting wise, in
And
terms
he still loves the
Cricket.
game.
Saying that though, I also kind of not funny story, but kind of funny story looking back on it. First week of the summer holidays, I was maybe 9, my sister was 10. And because, northeast, poor, small garden, I play golf in the back garden with a tennis ball and cricket bat and just hit it up and down the garden. And my sister was sat outside watching me one day, and I missed the tennis ball and went round and hit her flush to the side of the face. Decked her, running crying like I've killed Rachel, I'm really sorry. She got like a really black eye first week of the summer holidays, went back to school 6 weeks later with the same black eye.
I think I've killed Rachel. I'm very sorry.
I was going to say,
I was 9.
bleeding goes. That's pretty poor. That's pretty tame. Oh man,
But school was the good days for the really weird things at the time that we now look back and think that was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
We're talking about
What, like smacking your sister with a bloody cricket bat?
I mean, that wasn't cool as fuck. But
we talk about sporting accidents and that. I've got a sporting, not accident, but something I did. I had an academic rival in middle school called Funny. We get on now. We got on then, but he was just always like super intelligent, and I was like super intelligent,
You
shy,
weren't.
but he was super intelligent and popular, and it really annoyed me. He was also like super good at every sport, and he was lightning quick. And I remember we were up against each other on the relay race on the final stretch, and I've never been good at running, as I'm sure none of you are surprised. There was no surprise on any of your faces there, which hurts me. But anyway, moving on. And I remember I got past the baton first, just before him, and I launched off, and then I could hear him coming up behind me, and then I could see him getting in front of me, and I could see him going off the distance. And I remember seeing a flash of red in my eyes, and I looked down at the baton, and I just absolutely hossed it at his legs, and it whacked his ankle and his back of his legs, and he stumbled, and he still bloody beat me. And it's something that will haunt me for the rest of my life because I got in so much trouble for doing that, and I still didn't even cheat and win.
similar to that, Dan, we had a sports day, and obviously being quite tall, I got picked as our form's hurdle racer.
Yep.
And I hit every hurdle going and came dead last. I had no athletic jumping ability in me at all.
Yeah, see, I represented West Suffolk at shot put. That was about the only thing I was good at school because I basically just had my massive legs back then. Can you imagine that originally it was quite a little skinny little thing. Then all of a sudden my legs just went rah! I was still like quite skinny on top, which I've equaled out over the years. But yeah, so
Not equaled it out, mate.
No,
You've made up for the years.
I flipped it over. Anyway, yeah. So I used to be quite good at shot put. That was probably about my only real good sporting achievement. That and badminton as well. I used to compete quite good levels at that as well. But yeah, I was never really sporty. Didn't get into football till I was 15. I played it like lunchtimes and stuff, but it wasn't until I think a whole year of my mates saying in year like 9, I think it was, "Oh, come join our team, come join our team." I finally eventually started playing football. So
I just did everything.
yeah, it's quite a big part of a lot of people's lives, but it wasn't. I never really got into it till later on. I was a nerd.
Really enough for what I do and what I've done in the past, I hated PE at school.
What?
Didn't do it at college, hated it at school, went and did a sports coaching degree, and now I'm a PT. Figure it out.
Nah, it's mental.
Mm.
It really is. Just want to move on and talk about something just before we go up into our final segment of Is It Okay, which we absolutely haven't stolen from anywhere else. Don't you dare say we did. I just want to talk about, we've talked about some negative things and some funny things and naughty things we've done. What about teachers that stood out to you, that kind of inspired you, and maybe like one teacher you really did like who actually made you enjoy that part of school?
I had a couple. and that's they're the whole reason I got into teaching.
Yeah.
There's one teacher, is my PE teacher, who kind of all of my teachers, because I was naughty and got sent out every single lesson, they just tarred me with the same brush, even if I wouldn't do anything. It was my fault. So then,
you got put in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have said.
Zach's the bad boy of this podcast, which is quite surprising. I didn't think it was going to turn out that way.
I spent so much time in isolation that my mum physically wrote the isolation room a poem when I left.
So you're used to lockdown then?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
I wrote things on the walls.
Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
No, it's all right. There was a couple of teachers. There was my PE teacher who kind of just got on with me and chatted to me like I was a normal human being. So he wasn't he let me explain. He would chat to me like I'm just a normal person rather than trying to blame me for stuff. And then there was my IT teacher who every time he realised I was getting restless, he would send me to go and do a lap of the school field. So I'd run up, do a lap of the school field, I'd come back down and sit back in my IT lesson. And then I'd be back.
Extra PE for that.
Huh?
Extra PE for that.
Absolutely, I enjoyed it. It was good. Got me up and doing stuff. Otherwise, I'd absolutely Larry and hoshing things around the classroom or sellotaping my head, which is what I seem to like to do. Don't ask. So yeah, there were two. That's why I got into teaching, because right now I wanted to be the same voice for those kids.
Yeah,
but, misunderstood. So yeah, quite good.
I mean, I had friends.
I got on really well with my history teacher, which was weird because I didn't like history. But he just had some decent crack about him, and he came to school when we were in year 10 and year 11, so you could have a bit of decent crack back.
Yeah.
But none really that I really liked. There was plenty that I hated. We had one that was in year 7, our English teacher. I forget his name now. Wasn't from Hartlepool, but all of the rest of the teaching staff was, and he could pick up on the Hartlepool dialect really easily. So we spent our first English lesson being taught how to say purple shirt and not purple shirt, which is like the proper Hartlepoolian way of how to say it.
Oh, sounds like you almost got an actual education there, Gary. I don't know what you're running about.
Almost.
Yeah, because the other teacher came from down south.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. And any teachers for you? And?
No.
No, you can say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I had a couple. Just really hard to remember who. No,
Really
I had a couple. There was one, probably my form tutor in year 6, Mr. Lois.
Yeah.
He was a Reading football fan, and we got on well with just talk about football. And he had a football sticker club.
Yeah.
But apart from that, he just inspired and just made the lessons quite funny and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also there was another teacher in MCT called Miss Irwin.
Oh yeah, I remember.
She teached PE.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
You teach.
Pardon?
Clearly didn't teach English with you. He teaches PE.
Bust the teacher to pick up on that.
Sorry, Mr. Smith.
Please insert the fact that Ant did journalism at uni.
Spell checker, mate. Spell checker. Yeah, but basically, no, she was like a fun teacher. She always motivated. She didn't cut the ball crap out. Well, she cut the ball crap out and just said it as it was. But she was my form tutor as well, and she just was quite inspirational, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, she was very good looking.
And did you have any?
That's now a matter of public record.
Yep.
That's now public record.
I am speaking on behalf of all of MCT when I was at school.
Who was yours, Dan? Senior Sanchez or Senorita?
Oh, yeah, here we go. No, I actually did the full English youth system. No, the full English education system.
Education system.
Yeah, that's why I had my interview.
Juvenile.
I did the English youth system. Yeah, so I was I've got loads for me because I was quite a very shy kid. I grew up in a village. I didn't have any friends near me, like ever. If I wanted to go and see my friends, I had to wait till I was old enough that I could walk from my village through the woods to Mildenhall. It was like 2 miles away. So I'd have to leave it like
The MLD
daylight hours.
massive.
Yeah, exactly. So I was quite a sheltered child. Didn't have a lot of social skills. A lot of the teachers picked up on it and sort of nurtured me through education and that. I had Miss Saunders and Mr. Barker in primary school. They sort of helped me so much when I was little, like trying to come out of my shell and stuff like that. And I mean, I had the fortune that I went back and was a teaching assistant at my primary school, and I got to work with them. So I got to cross the line, and then we became friends. You get to know them like as people, as not only as teachers, but it was weird seeing them in the staff room and talking to them about actual adult stuff when they've like helped form your childhood years. But yeah, so then sort of as middle school, I suppose I had Mr. Morris was probably the one I'd always remember. Him, Mr. Boardman, and yeah, those two sort of stick out the most for me from middle school. Mr. Morris was a DT teacher who took no shit from anybody, and would quite happily swear at children and tell them to shut the fuck up, which was marvellous. But he was absolutely hilarious as well. He had like 1,000,001 stories. And the best thing ever is if you were really bored of the lesson, you just asked him about something about his childhood, and 40 minutes would pass and the lesson would be over, and he was just still talking. It was wonderful. We did like no work sometimes. It was wonderful.
That's where you picked that art up of always talking.
Yeah, exactly. And then Mr. Boardman got me onto one of my favourite films of all time, because as part of like history or something, we watched Dances with Wolves in a history lesson, and I fell in love with that film, and I've always loved that film. Always remember him and that film. And then MCT. We had so many Lincoln teachers at MCT. Like Mr. Cunningham, I think was my form tutor in one of the years. Might have been year 9. We didn't get on at first because he was super sarcastic and I was super sarcastic back then. But I was also a teenager and didn't like anybody, and we didn't get on for like.
Back then, what's changed?
Well, there we go. But then, yeah, eventually we got on, and then that was a good thing. And we had like sixth form, and that I remember sixth form more than anything at MCT, which was like Mrs. Cooper and Mr. Cinnamon, I think. Oh, that's gone green again on my screen.
Yeah, he's gone green on mine as well now.
Green with envy. But I always remember the sixth form teachers, because they always tried to encourage me to keep on with my education. But I'd already decided pretty much at the beginning of sixth form that I was only there to pass time, because I knew I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go to university or anything like that. I'm a home bird. I never wanted to leave the area. I was quite comfortable being surrounded by people I knew and places that I knew. I just wanted to get into work and find something that I enjoyed doing. So I never knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. The only thing I ever really wanted to be was a dad, and I'd always said that. It was a weird thing for a kid or a teenager to say, but I've always said it. I never knew what I wanted to do job-wise. But but teachers tried their best at sixth form, tried to encourage me, and I always appreciate that. I didn't at the time. I thought I knew best, but I appreciate their point of view now. But it all worked out in the end. Do a job I love. I've got a nice little kid. It's all good.
Perfect.
Yeah, indeed. Right. I don't know if we wait for Ant to stop going green, or I'm going to run with it. Right, we're going to move on to the final segment, a wrap up, which is pretty much probably going to be led with Gary, because he seems to have prepared very much for this, and it's good because he's kind of.
No, I'm just going through a certain TV program's tweets.
I don't know what you're talking about. You could lead the segment, and we can have the discussion. Which, as I say, it's quite apt because, of course, you are the sort of champion of this section for various comments that you've made in the past, which will be brought up with the jingle as we enter the section or segment that is it okay? Insert intro. And there's the intro. And you're going to love that when you watch that back.
It is on for one episode and one episode only.
No, that's going to come back every single time.
No, because if work's here, I could be involved.
Fine. Now I can take that.
What's up? What was that question? Sorry.
Anyway, no, it's fine. Ants in Greenland. Anyway,
You can start then. What was your? Is it okay that you had?
I can't even remember what it was now.
What?
What was it? You can go ahead, Gary. You do your is it okays.
Oh, he's back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is it? This is one I've just seen. Is it okay that Pontings have banned 40 Irish surnames from booking on their site because there could be possible gypsies/travellers?
Whoa.
That is a bold move from a company that probably shouldn't be in existence today.
Yep.
or banning people when
Yeah.
they really need the money because they've not been able to open for a
They've
year.
got no right.
Exactly.
How do you discriminate against people because they're surnames?
How would you even pick the surname just Irish?
O'Neill.
Anything that's got 8 vowels in it that doesn't need to have 8 vowels in it. Anything that's
Who's
9
going to
letters
answer that one
long.
first?
Any surname that's 9 letters long, but then still sounds something like Smith.
Yep.
Who's answering that one first then?
We've all kind of just chipped it in.
Yeah.
I don't think it's okay. It's not okay.
No. No.
Not okay.
Absolutely not.
Any discrimination is not okay.
Absolutely not.
Unless apparently it's against me, in which case, yeah.
That is absolutely okay.
Fair game.
There we go. Right, go on then, Gary. Hit us with your next one. Hit us with your best shot.
Give me where you at. No, can't do that.
Controversial one.
What?
Is it okay that Rangers fans weren't hurt in a protest or their celebration, but the women over the weekend were?
Oof.
Oh, you're
Now,
hitting it.
firstly, absolutely not okay that women were being hurt in protests.
No, it's not.
No, not at all.
However, I believe it is okay that Rangers should be allowed to celebrate their league title.
Okay. So you're hitting her a double.
As long as they're doing it social distancing.
Which they absolutely weren't, because they're football
Yeah,
fans.
my problem with this is the government have come out and they fined Rangers for it, yeah? The players kept their distance between the fans, yeah?
Yeah.
The police were there for the fans.
Mm.
And the police, well, obviously there was thousands, but they couldn't do anything. It's not like anyone sent warnings out from like police to government until it was too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you expect? What do they expect?
Yeah.
If Boris Johnson resigned tomorrow, guarantee all social distancing would just collapse.
Yeah. Because we're out celebrating.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll be out there with 8 pints.
Absolutely.
Everyone have boards
And then just be staying there because you won't be able to move.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
For Zach here,
Oh, God, here we go.
is it okay the frontline school staff involved in the testing of hundreds of students are not able to get their vaccination?
I'm going to come out with a controversial opinion here. I'm not going to have the vaccination.
Oh,
Purely because...
you've had COVID 80 times.
Yeah. I am COVID now. That is what has happened. So
You are the walking entity of COVID-19.
absolutely.
If Zach had the vaccine, he would himself disintegrate.
It is basically his kryptonite.
Yeah.
Okay, Zach. Okay, on that then,
Mhm.
if they say to you, okay, fine, you don't have to have it, but you're not allowed to travel anymore. You can't leave the UK ever.
Interesting.
Because that is something they're talking about.
Have you heard the term illegal immigrant?
Have I?
That'll be me.
Did you just ask me if I've heard the term illegal immigrant? Have you just asked me that question?
Gary, shall we let Zach and Dan have this conversation?
Get
No,
those gloves out, boys.
There's no point. Like at the moment, there's no proof. Well, they say there is, but you have it. And like my mum works in a care home, and they're all vaccinated, and the whole care home went down with it anyway, and like half of them died.
Yeah, that's old age.
But still, they've all been vaccinated, and it's supposed to protect those, and it doesn't.
Yeah, but they could have died of other causes.
But they didn't.
I am purely
Prove
going
it.
to get it. I am purely only going to get it because I want to go to Australia in December, and the chances are we're going to need a vaccination passport.
Yeah.
I'm to be vaccinated to enter the country,
Mm.
and I'm not spending the money I'm spending on that 4-week trip to then not be able to go
Yeah.
for someone
makes
not
sense.
stabbing my arm.
Right.
Mm.
On the fourth series of this podcast, let's bring it out, and I'll bet you any money Zach's had that vaccination.
Oh, look, he's clearly already put himself up as the bad boy, and like that's part of his image. Like that goes along with it. He's controversial. He's out there.
All right, is your missus going to have it?
Probably.
There you go. They'll transfer it between each other anyway, so it'll be fine.
Respect.
What's this? What are you trying to say about that?
She'll take a secret needle.
If you really want me to, I could be more graphic, but I don't want to be that guy.
No, what's she going to do? She's going to take a needle and she's going to inject Zach herself when she gets home.
From her own blood.
Yeah. I'll probably.
But fair enough.
Yeah, no, everyone's entitled to do what like. That's fine. I'm never going to tell anyone to do or like judge anyone for whatever. Like it's down to you. They're all human.
Yeah.
I'm purely getting the vaccination so I can go to Flex. So that's my 2 cents. So there
Dan, the thing is though,
I'm not going to save you with Flex.
no,
I'm not from there, and I know how good Flex is.
Dan, we don't need it. It won't protect us from flexes. We've had Ebola. We've had everything. That dance floor.
I've been there once, and once is enough.
Yeah, but you only there for 10 minutes, and you walk back to the travel lodge.
Yeah, that's still enough.
If I'm there for 10 minutes, and it's 9 minutes too long.
You didn't pull, did you?
He spent 8 minutes on the dance floor trying to get off it, going sticky.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm having it so I can bypass all that. They might have nightclub passports as well. They're talking about having that. So you've got to have proof to go in them. So if I ever want to step foot in gym bar again and do karaoke,
it's not a nightclub though; it's just a bar.
Yeah, but it would be the same kind of principle.
Festivals will have it as well, though, and let's face it, Dan loves the festival.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's in the open air. That's in the open air.
If you've ever been to a festival, you know that air ain't clean. Right, you breathe in the air at Reading after about 6 hours of everyone being there, and you're going to catch chlamydia.
That is something I want to do. I want to go to a festival when it
Me and Dan have both said this as well.
Arises again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We've got to organise that. Absolutely.
We could do a podcast live from Reading.
Oh my God, can you imagine? That would be an absolute state.
Okay, Dan, here's one for you because I know how much it must annoy you.
Oh.
Is it okay that you can be banned on Twitter for typing Memphis, but you can't change spellings within a tweet?
Oh, no, it's not okay. It's a nightmare. Genuinely, I'm containing my rage.
Let it out.
No, I can't let it out. It's irritating.
Twitter's been around how long?
And you still can't edit a tweet. Do you know how many times I've had to delete things and bloody do them? Hundreds, thousands, millions. It's ridiculous.
We'll just get good at spelling.
Which is 15 years old next week.
15 years old and it hasn't got a tool on it.
15 years old on Sunday.
Yeah, well, you can at least, like, within the first couple of minutes, just go, oh, crap. That's when you notice it. As soon as you click post.
Is this going to be out by Sunday, by the way?
What?
This is going to be out by Sunday.
This is out Wednesday. I'm going to take this now, edit in the adverts and jingles and whatnot. I don't think I have to do too much trimming. We've been doing quite well, talking for a whole hour and a bit. It's good.
Lovely.
Dan's not in Warzone tomorrow. He'll be editing still. Actually, no, he'll do it tonight. He'll be up till 4 a.m.
I'll do it later on today. But yeah, no, it's been good. I'll tell you what, we'll use that sort of segue to wrap it up.
Cool.
Because it's been a great first episode, guys. I think it's gone rather well. There's some good stories there. We've bared our souls. We know a little bit more about each other now. I never knew Zach was such a terror. I'm not sure I'm able to sleep at night. Then.
I've
I've
seen
got more.
him on Warzone, Dan. He's bound to be a bad boy. Can't stick with the team.
Yeah. That, to be fair, actually, yeah, it does speak volumes to your character. Yeah. Absolutely.
There's so many more stories I could share, but they're probably getting.
Look at it this way, Dan. He runs off, gets in fight with people that he shouldn't get in fights with.
Yeah.
He's just living his childhood life.
He picks up girls and brings them back to the classroom.
Actually, do you remember that time in Warzone when he walked past that rotten apple on the floor? That was mental.
Yeah. Why? And he kept shooting at it.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop.
And then jumped off Sam and didn't pull a parachute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. PTSD. That's what that was. Anyway, thanks guys for coming, and thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week for episode 2, which is, I believe,
Life after COVID.
Life After COVID, and that will be Ant's episode that he will be directing, trying to take charge of. So yeah, so tune in next week, and we'll see you all then. Goodbye.
Peace.
Bye.
And cut.
Warzone.